Welcome, guys. So let's do a quick round of introductions first. Alan, Záruba, you're basically working Livesport and have a rich history in sports media overall in the Czech Republic. Livesport and Flashscore, obviously, like a big, like an amazing scoring gap. And Eirini Panzari, you're the Chief Operating Officer of EMSA Media and SportDog, right? Big publisher as well here in Greece. Yes, so please say a few words about what you do.
So you know my name already. So basically, in this setting, I represent SportDog, which is one of the leading sports websites in Greece. We are part of United Media, which gives us the privilege of also having access to premium video content, with Nova being in the spectrum. And we have been working with WSC for the past 2.5 years almost, when we took over SportDog and we relaunched it to the market.
Okay, so Livesport is a tech media company. We started almost 19 years ago as a result service. Throughout the time, they gathered a complete experience for users to get all aspects of the games, and reached enormous reach of activated enormous reach of sport fans. We have over 120 million users around the globe in 54 countries, providing not only the results and statistical services, but also news in context with the results, which are scaling in now 31 countries. And we are heavily using the technological development, that's automation. We have a giant CMS for our small editorial hubs in every country where we are, and in some others also we are so-called mirroring the content and sharing the content throughout this giant CMS called Global Pool. And also in collaboration with WSC, we are actually joining our statistical visualization with the clips, which we integrate into one editing system to be assigned with one language and scaled into the other languages to maximize the effect for the users. So actually, I'm very grateful for the collaboration, and what I saw here from Shaka, I think that we are on the same path, but we'll be talking about it.
Thank you, Alan. Eirini?
I just finished it.
Yeah, no, I think the obvious next question for us would be that you both are in a very unique position in the publisher ecosystem. This position is evolving, but I think, Eirini, you alluded to this, about the fact that you have access to rights, which is uncommon for publishers, but becoming a more, let's say, organic evolution in the ecosystem. Can you both speak to that a little bit? Let's start with you, Eirini. How you leverage, media rights in order to create value for yourself and also for your, group generally.
I mean, living in a fast-paced world where news are changing a lot and people appreciate short clips, that gave us a huge edge, the fact that we have access to exclusive premium video content that with the power of WSC we can clip in seconds, or even without us getting in the way, so that we can create more content, more powerful content, engaging content that is appreciated by both the users and the market, because at the end of the day, this is a big competitive edge for us, being in the position to showcase video content alongside our editorial pieces that nobody else has access, at least not at that time, and at least in a licensed and legal way. So for us, it has been the center stone of our strategy, both on the editorial side and the commercial side, and it has been proven a very important tool and vehicle to enter the market.
Well, there are two things. With our flagship, which in all the countries except of Czech Republic, the home base called FlashScore, we are providing stats and results and enhanced experience for the users at the moment when the accidents in the games happening, and mainly in football, basketball, hockey, tennis. In that sense, we would like to add something more. So in that sense, we would be willing, especially for the digital news, to acquire the rights for the content. But I think for a player on the global market, even as big as we are, it's not profitable to do this. So we rather deal with companies like WSC to implement the in-app stories. We're actually starting tomorrow with NBA conference finals and with EuroLeague, and then carry on with Club World Cup. And I think it's very promising because we are delivering huge reach for the partners of WSC to us, and then we can revenue share a bit as it was shown by Shaka. So that's one thing. Obviously, we are also can provide add-on for established media houses who hold the rights, but are not so capable of providing in-depth and to-the-notch preview models, short videos with visual stats, which can be interlinked with the invitation to watch the game on the platform of each media house. And in that sense, we are very successful, mainly in South America, which is our major market, to work with platforms like Zapping or CNN Brazil. In Europe, we are starting now with Canal Plus. We work with CME in Central Media. In that sense, this is a collaboration and coordination where it all makes sense and putting it all together.
Very good. So you're actually speaking about, like, how the digital system ecosystem is developing. Into one side, you have rights holders that are owners of the content, but on the other hand, you have like mass distribution platforms, like both of your platforms that actually have the audiences, right? And the collaboration just makes sense rather than it being a win-lose. It started to become like more of a win-win collaboration. Mm-hmm. Let's speak a bit about like that enabler of that whole ecosystem, which is the fan, right? Like everything revolves around him or her, and speak a little bit about how do you see the evolution of the expectations of the fan over the last few years, and how do you see your platform starting to cater more to these changing habits, expectations, and so on? Eirini.
I mean, the bar is getting higher and higher because, as Chaka mentioned, we are way past the phase where fans were just passive viewers of what was happening, or they were seeking for the information itself. Now they're exposed to the information all over the place. They know the information, but they still want more context. They want it fast, if even real time. They are into short-form videos, explainers. They want to own the conversation. They do not necessarily want to view the action. They want to be part of the action with their commentary, with gamification, with everything. So they become a very hard to please, let's say, audience if you don't have the right means. Because we have to find smarter ways to personalize the experience and get them what they need fast. So.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and we are actually doing a lot for the fan engagement or sport fan engagement, because we have to diverse them into two groups. One of them are sport fans who are involved just watching the sport, either actually at the site or on TV. And the other ones are who are adding also the other activity like betting experience or social media experience, which they then share among the other fans. So We are heavily investing into transformation of the basic statistical services into follow player, follow club, a nest to create a flash score, one place for everything, where you can get automated news every morning about what's happened with your player, either on the social media channel or in the last game, how he scored, what he said in the press conference, and a little bit of the rumors about his transfers. So there is and that's a lot of technological development. And on the other side, there is also an engagement with the media, where we would like to give an access for the fan. And it was very well explained by Shaka in implementing some other channels of monetization, like merchandising or popular brands, which are interlinked with the sport fan experience.
Very good. You're pointing out very good things, because these are my next questions. So I think it's, even though it has not been super coordinated, I think it creates a really great flow to the conversation. You mentioned monetization, and you mentioned also differentiating ways of monetization. I think that we all know there's an elephant in the room, there is social media, and there's a lot of, kind of virtuous cycle going on there in terms of, the algorithms and how big this platform became. How do you differentiate yourselves, both from, the experience side, but also in what you can offer partners, like, commercial partners, like content partners, to make you stand out and become your own pillar within that ecosystem? Eirini, let's start with you.
I mean, social media are frenemies in a way. Obviously, there are challenges in interacting with them, in the sense that these are all third-party platforms. You don't control the policies, the algorithms. You have no ownership of the data you share with them. So you build huge communities, but then at the end of the day, you cannot rely on the longevity of the initiative, let's say. So I think one way to look at it and see how well you can better put them in your ecosystem is, imagine that your website, in my case, you're a publisher, this should be the center of your galaxy, and then you have different orbits that should be contributing, creating touch points with all the fans in whatever medium they want to consume, in native formats, and respecting the differentiated platforms, both in terms of nature, timing, creative outputs they have. But at the end of the day, you have to create a strategy that brings them all back to your own website, where you can track your own data, you can monetize it in a much better way, because that's another issue with social media. Monetization opportunities are fairly limited, depending on the region and the country, but especially in Greece, not much revenue is to be expected from there. So I think it's a matter of how you see them and how you can make them complementary to your strategy, instead of them being the centerfold and be treated as friends or enemies, for that
Very
matter.
insightful. Leveraging social media as an enabler to your business, rather than looking at them as the destination or something of its own. It needs to serve you.
I could pick up the word complementary, because before I came to Livesport, I was working almost 15 years in the classical linear media business, and it's a bit stubborn model still, because the media pay a lot of money for sport rights. At the same time, they follow up a certain classical schedule of pre-season, pre-game studio, middle game studio, after game studio. Not too much engagement with the fan, not too much engagement with the partners, with the commercial partners. At least some kind of competition. But there is a huge opportunity how you can engage the funds towards your commercial partners in a complementary system, which could be social media, could be a platform like FlashScore all together with the actual activation of the end user. So I think that it's a kind of mind shift also, and I see. And don't tell me we were rehearsing that, but it's a lot to do with the new technological development through AI, you know. So, which would be probably your next question, I guess. But it is there is a lot what could be done, and the only thing is that we have to change our thinking about how to approach our commercial clients, but also how to work with new entities and with global partners, like, for example, we do between FlashScore and WSC.
Great. No, I fully get kind of that shift in mentality that actually, like, you know, makes for a sustainable business. Let's finish up on the note of the ecosystem, where it's going, and I think you both have a lot of similarities, but you also have different platforms, you know, Livesport and FlashScore with this global kind of approach, you know, Habitual and SportDog with a very local focus, but, you know, kind of high premium, you know, very kind of passionate audiences about the specific sport. Can you give me your thesis about, you know, your outlets, how they serve the ecosystem, you know, in the next 5 years, how this becomes kind of a truly, you know, I would say, part of the same whole, rather than, you know, just being like a part of the ecosystem?
I think the redefined roles will come apparent as we analyze how fans operate right now. There are many research studies that point out that usually while watching a game, fans from different age groups, usually that's when they multitask, and they also have in hand a mobile phone or another device, and at the same time they're consuming stats, they comment, they contribute, they might play a game or talk with each other about the game. So maybe one way to look at it is for publisher sites to understand that maybe the information per se is becoming obsolete and redundant because it's all over the place. And maybe they can develop themselves into some sort of, I don't know, second screen companion to the fan, that at the same time, while he's watching a game or watching his favorite shows, he can be interacting with the content. He can be consuming commentaries. He can have a gamification platform. He can provide comments and ways for us to figure out how to control all these interactions, which can become toxic, especially when talking about fans. So definitely we need to redefine ourselves, see how we can get a personalized experience to the users instead of waiting for them to come to us, because it seems that people are getting lazier and lazier in figuring out ways to come to you. You have to come to them with something meaningful and useful. So it's going to be a challenging era. Definitely we need to invest on data. We need to invest on automation and AI, because inevitably this will help us scale and deliver faster results of the same quality but with better means. And trying to figure out ways to create engagement and not just information and content.
Right.
Data became a commodity which is going to be a more valuable asset than the media rights in the following future. We fully concentrate on the pre-game service, very precisely fractioning how we engage with the fans and what we provide for them. And we would like to license what we providing for them, meaning we are creating a content in all multi-channel distribution derived from our data, visual stats in context with the news accommodated in the news articles and in the video previews, which sits in our game detail, which is the most valuable place, attended by dozens of millions of users. And then when we own this license, we obviously can scale it. So through AI, we developed and we are developing many small features which allow us to produce in a global scale. Text to voice, voice to text, data to stories. We develop our own station voice, which speaks 31 languages and which can narrate the storyline of the previews in all the markets where we would like to publish it. Short clip, no more than 30 seconds. That relates to the fact that you are distributing not only in your platform, but you're distributing also on social media. And this is very recent, actually. But I really loved the video to engage the kids, which is using artificial virtual reality and basically a kind of kid avatar. We are in a serious development of our own presenter, an expert, flash score expert, which would be maybe beautiful women, maybe beautiful men. We can actually also address her visibility specifically for market in South America and market in China and market in Europe. And that expert would be the main predominator of more complex videos, up to 1 minute. And in this kind of ecosystem, I think we can be a valuable partner for media outlets, for us to provide original content, but also to activate the new commercial partners on the markets, on the global market.
Right. So, Eirini, Alan, I think all the points you made about carving out your unique place in the ecosystem, not just doing whatever is available elsewhere, but creating, moving from data or from information to engagement, from being a rich destination to being a source of value for your partners. All of that, I think, super insightful. And I really wish that all of the digital outlets start thinking more about how they lift up the boat that for everyone else, and that creates a much more powerful ecosystem altogether that everybody wins. So thank you a lot for joining me today.
Let me just say one more thing about WSC. I really love the way how you innovate. Always when we meet, Aviv, we meet usually in NBA games, but there is something new, something groundbreaking new. And I think this is a great opportunity for media outlets to use even the basic services, the automated editing room. This saves money, saves time, effectively can enhance the production. And I don't know so much companies in the world who are so eager to innovate and be progressive. So thank you very much for the invitation for this huddle. I'm really happy about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.